What's up everybody? It's the Simple Rider 97 here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm reviewing my own bike, the Honda Grom MSX125 from 2026. I bought it brand new directly at Honda, and it's basically a stock bike. The only thing that I already did is changing these ones. The OEM tires, they suck. I need a bike that can drive all the year in the snow, sometimes in the ice, especially in the rain, and these ones are handy dandy, I would say you that. There's a Heidenau K 5/8 mod, so they're the new ones, and the mod ones have these grooves in here, so you have more traction in the rain, and this is for me a must-have. And you see the pattern of the tires, they're kind of like off-road tires, because this bike will be turned into a stunt bike soon. I don't have the money right now, but I will get into that. But the first mod that I need to do is the tires, because the tires are the #1 mod you should always do to your bike in terms of what you like to do. You want to go more off-road, get even more beefier tires than that. If you want sporty tires, get like the Pirelli Rosso, I think they're called, Rosso Scooter or something like that. I don't know. But this is my bike. I will change literally everything on it as of illegal as you can in Germany, because as you know, I'm from Germany. German law sucks when it comes to bikes, but we will get into that and we will change it that it's illegal. Yeah, so about the bike. Right now it has 735 kilometers. My average fuel mileage, or my consumption, is 1.9 liters every 100 kilometers. This is the first bike that gets 2 liters or less every 100 kilometers than all the other bikes. All my other bikes that I had were like 4 until the FMX. My Honda FMX 650 had like 8 liters every 100 kilometers. So every 100 kilometers I need to basically fill it up. Why did I bought this bike? Simply, you saw the gas prices and everything. They're going like sky high. You cannot afford to drive and pay all these gas prices, because it's just not possible. I'm a simple man. I do my simple full-time job. My wife is doing her full-time job, and the reason for just basically having this bike as the only bike for all the year, it's cheap. I have a full insurance on that. Every month, 16 euros. That's nothing. My only bike that I had a full insurance on was the Yamaha MT-07, because that bike was just my dream bike. And the full insurance cost me around about 60 euros every single month. And I said like, man, that's just no way. There is no way. And I went back to a half full insurance. In Germany you have like 3 types, but we'll get into that in another video maybe. But yeah, this is it. This is the bike. Like you see, everything is stuck. The mirrors are stuck. Just have a little SP Connect phone mount as usual. Stock exhaust, stock shitty here. The plate holder, we need to fix that. Yeah, everything is stock. Everything is stock except the tires. But yeah, let's hop on the bike and see how she's driving. Ooh, what a lovely little sounding bike. So, the Honda Grom. I need to be honest with you guys. First off, I've been like, this bike 125, I will never drive a 125 in my life, because I have a license to get bigger bikes. I have the A2 license. I always want to have the open license. I can do it for like 4 years now, but I simply don't need it, because the power that I had for all the bikes that I had before was more than enough to get me anywhere I want. I don't have a car license. I know, a shocker, but this is the only thing that I can drive to work. I have 25 kilometers every single day to drive to work, and then 25 kilometers back from work to home. And I needed a bike that can do it all. I first went on sport bikes and naked bikes. It was amazing, but the thing with that is they're too aggressive for what I wanted. The fuel economy on them been like bad. The insurance, sky high rocking, pretty expensive insurance for big bikes here in Germany. To even get fuel for these bikes, it costs. And then I went with adventure bikes. I like them a lot, but for me, they're just too high. Like my CRF 250L and my Honda FMX 650, my V-Strom 650, and the KTM 390 Adventure. They're all amazing bikes to drive and handle like this, but they're just too high. They're way too high and too top heavy. They're way too top heavy, and I don't like bikes and when they tip over, I need to fight with them. I'm not a big guy. I'm 180. I'm not that big. I know it's an average size for a man, but I have short legs. And with my short legs, I can only barely touch the ground with both of my feet flat on the ground. So then I was thinking like, okay, the prices are going up all the time. Insurance getting even more expensive. Gas prices are getting more expensive. Parts for motorcycles are getting so expensive. And I always tune my personal bikes here and there with some parts, but the parts are just so expensive. And I was thinking to myself, what bike can I ride all the year? I don't have to worry about when it's dropped. I don't have to worry about tiptoeing it. I don't have to worry about the cost when I'm driving it. I don't have to watch my money. And this bike came to my mind. I drove it two times now, and I fell in love with it. It's so nimble. The tuning for this bike that you can get everything, it's so cheap. The insurance for this bike, like I said, it's peanuts. For a full insurance, like they cover everything, 16 euros, what you can get there for. You cannot get any other bike for that money to insure as a full protection. The parts are easy to get, inexpensive. The mileage, or to get from one to other, and the fuel consumption, just nothing. The only thing that sucks about this bike really is the top speed. I had a top speed when I'm tucking under and making me small and give it a full beans, maybe on a little downhill. I saw 116 kilometers an hour. For you Americans, that probably like 70, 72 miles an hour, I guess. I will probably put a little thingy here on the screen. But other than that, man, this bike is so good. It's so much fun. if you want to drive for little money as possible and have a big smile, get this one. Get this one. Get the 2025 models, the generation 4. Get the generation before that, from 2022, I guess, or 20, was it something like that? Generation 3. They also have a 5-gear speed box in there. The previous generations, I love the generation 2, like a transformer, it's amazing, but the 4 gears, they just not been for me. I need to get onto the Autobahn sometimes with this bike, and this bike can do the Autobahn without ease. And you can get with this thing on the Autobahn, you can drive like 90 kilometers an hour. If you try hard, you can go like 100 kilometers an hour. Yeah, you're driving with all the transporters and all the good stuff. But I said, you know what? That's fine for me. I am totally fine with that one. I don't need any motorcycle that can go like 200 plus kilometers an hour. It's just not me. And this bike is amazing. It's just amazing. It's so good. Another maybe negative thing about this bike that I'm a little bit, I would say meh. I don't know, many people are complaining about it. It is what it is. Sometimes you have a false neutral. Sometimes when you shift from 3rd to 4th gear, you shift, there goes like a little dot on there and you did not shift. And then you need to shift again and you're losing time. But other than that, I cannot complain about this bike. This bike has another, I would say it's a bit concerning problem with it. When you're starting it, when it's cold, the first time you start it in the morning, sometimes you start it, then it's idle for like 5 seconds and then we will shut off. And then you need to start it again and then everything's good. I told it to the dealer, they will look into that when I'm doing my 1000 kilometers inspection, and they will let me know. They did already reset the ECU, but it just not helped. It just not helped. It still has the same problem from time to time. It's not always, but from time to time you have this problem with this bike. And maybe one complaint I will have with this bike, even though it's a small motor, I know 10 PS horsepower, they're not that many. 124 cc's is not big. I'm usually driving like 650s. That's my sweet spot for motorcycles, or like 500s, like the CBR that I had. But for what it is, it has power. But man, the sound is just a lawnmower. It's just a lawnmower. I will have in the future like a K&N air box or air filter, I will say, because the air box is not allowed, but the air filter is allowed. Maybe it would change the sound a little bit. And also I will put a Aero exhaust on there, just a slip-on, because right now we don't have any legal full exhaust for this bike, like from the 1st and 2nd generation from Aero. X-Cone, I believe it's called. And maybe it will have more like a bite to it, or more like a better sounding character. But these are just minor issues with the bike, or just complaints about this bike. But it's just 10% of what I don't like about this bike, and 90% of like what I like about this bike. And this bike will be in my garage. I will have it for all the time until it's completely broken. Yeah, driving with the shirt and all that stuff. Okay, I see you. But yeah, I will like to have this bike all the time in my garage. I will get a second bike in the future, a bigger one, like an FZ6 S, or is it called an S XJ6. And yeah. So that's it for me, for my bike review of this bike, why I have it, why do I buy it. And I can only say, if you want to get into motorcycles, get this bike. I have it for 4,000 euros. They went like 700 euros down with the price. It's a brand new one with 0 kilometers on there. It was just a no-brainer for me. It was just a no-brainer for me. I cannot get any better bike like this. If you want to have a second bike that you can have fun with, do some stunts or even train some stunts, that I will also do with that one, get your hands on this one. But yeah, I hope you like my little review of it. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you like it. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out.